Hello everyone. I wanted today to paint the sky just because I never was a big fan of doing scenery and stuff like that, and so I never really did it, but I keep seeing these posts on Instagram and it's like trending right now for people to paint, which makes me sad because I haven't painted in so long, like for fun. And then I keep seeing people paint like skies and clouds and moons and like they're all pink and like pretty and stuff, and so I'm just kind of like, I want to do that, so today I'm gonna do that. I have my really sad excuse of an easel here. It's basically just a stack of notebooks and stuff, but that's what I'm gonna be using. I also have a canvas. I hope you guys can kind of see. This video is probably one of the least planned videos I think I've ever filmed. So I'm going to attempt to paint the sky with minimal to no reference. I don't really know what I'm doing, but we will figure it out. Maybe together. I need to open up these paints. So let's just get into it. I'm gonna start off with some pink. I'm just gonna put some paint on my palette. And I feel like I just have a really bad layout for making any sort of painting video because I don't really have like the space to do that here. I feel like my voice sounds kind of scratchy, which is not good. But basically, I don't really have like the setup anywhere in my house to really do painting videos. Also, like literally all of my painting materials are in Rhode Island now because I go to school there, if you guys didn't know that. So I kind of don't have much to work with at times, but you know, that's life, I guess. I've been just trying to like chill out and I don't know. Life's been weird lately. I don't really know how to describe it. It's not like anything's really going on. It's just that like summer vacation feels a lot different than how school normally feels. And basically I have to go back to school soon. And it's just a really stressful time. But like, I'll be fine, you know. So I'm gonna try to lay down kind of a solid base for the sky. I don't really know what I'm doing. I honestly haven't really painted the sky in a super long time, and I'm kind of going off of a picture, but not really. So I kind of wanted to address something, which is why I haven't really been making any art videos in a while. I don't think anyone's really noticed, to be honest, but basically, like, since after last semester, I haven't really done any sort of art that, like, I've really taken seriously like I usually do. Because normally, after school is over, I would, like, be doing something fun or whatever. But there's times where, like, it's kind of just artist block, where you don't know what to do or you just don't feel like doing anything either, and it kind of sucks. I feel like that's kind of just like what was going on this summer, was that I just kind of had no motivation to be doing any of this stuff, which isn't really what I want, obviously, but it happens. I feel myself starting to come out of it, so, you know, that's good. I'm gonna try my best to blend this. I don't know if I can on the first coat. Like I said, I'm using acrylic. I just have to see how this goes, to be honest. I also just don't know how to paint the sky at all, but you know, we'll figure it out. So for the rest of the time that I have for now before I have to head back to college, I'm gonna try my best to do as many art videos as I can because I miss doing art with you guys. I think it's really fun and I really like it, and it is what I'd prefer to be doing on my channel. So I think I'm going to try to do that a bit more. Just because I know I've been like really slacking lately and I know you guys miss the content, so I'm going to try to be doing that. But in other news, I don't have much else to update you guys on. I mostly wanted to paint today just because I wanted to paint, and most of the time how it goes is I don't really think of filming, but then I'm like, you know what, I might as well film and chat with you guys while I'm at it since I'm already here. So that's usually like how it goes, and then I kind of just end up filming after that. So that's kind of what happened today too, is that I wasn't exactly planning to film. It just kind of occurred. I'm kind of glad because I feel like I try a bit more to do something new when I film while I paint. The only downside to filming while I paint, in my opinion, is that I don't like feeling the pressure because I feel like if I mess up, it's a bigger deal to me if I'm filming than if it's not. And it's not even that I'm really like concerned about like what other people think, it's just for me personally, I feel a lot more stress. So even though art isn't always like a peaceful thing to me, I guess, I still try to make it be. I know some people do art to relax, but I feel like I never really did that. That seems pretty blended to me, to be honest, so I think I'm gonna try to add in some clouds, maybe some stars. I'm really excited about the stars. The sun is also starting to set, so it's kind of like related to painting the sky. Like that's kind of cool, but it's also kind of sucks because that means my natural daylight is gone. Clouds, okay. I feel like this isn't as hard as I'm making it feel like it is. I want to like not panic about it too much. Like I don't want to freak out about it too much about like not being perfect. So I'm gonna go in and add a few clouds, try to make it look cute. I don't really know the shape of clouds, to be honest. Like I didn't really do much research on this. I've just been seeing so many people paint aesthetic night skies or morning skies or whatever skies, and I really wanted to do one, so this is gonna be my attempt at one. We will see how it goes. I'm just trying to get back into art again, and it's kind of hard when you haven't been doing it for a while. I must say it's been a hot minute since I've like actually painted something with acrylic on a canvas, so yeah, it is definitely a little bit stressful. I feel like Bob Ross doing this, which is kind of strange. I never actually watched like any of his videos. Maybe I'll paint along with him one day. I think that would be cool. Maybe I'll do it in like pastel though. Ooh, that sounds actually kind of exciting. Now I really want to film that video. I'm just trying to also like get more ideas with drawing videos, because I just, oh okay, I didn't mean to do that, but I guess we're just putting one there. I didn't really want to, I kind of want to curve these clouds, I think. Like make them go like this. I wonder if it's too late to do that. Probably not, right? I have a hard time like thinking of video ideas too, to like paint and draw and stuff, just because when I do want to paint something, it's usually pretty random, and I have a tendency to like psych myself out of it before I even pursue it, which is really bad. This looks kind of right. It's also just the base, so it's okay. Okay, the paint is becoming more white because it's having a harder time blending with the colors under it because of it drying. So I'm gonna go in with this bigger brush. I'm gonna try to, I actually don't know what I'm trying to do. I thought that would work. I don't think that's working. I'm gonna go in with this brush because I think I just like this one better. Trying to maybe soften the edges or do something. I'm gonna go back in and add some color to some of these. I'm gonna try to add some shadows into some of these, which is what I'm attempting to do right now. I feel like this is not going as well as I thought it would, but also I'm not even using a reference picture, so I'm not quite sure what I expected. I also haven't painted with acrylic in such a long time that I just like have no idea what I'm doing. I feel like it looks way better on camera than it does in person, but that is okay. I'm gonna try to add some highlights and kind of just blend the colors a bit more. I feel like the colors aren't really blending as well as I thought they would. I guess because I'm also just so used to painting with watercolor lately that this is just a bit of a challenge to kind of switch over from. So I feel like I'm going to try to make them a little softer now. So I'm gonna go in with this brush again. I'm just gonna try to like fluff out the edges a bit. Oh, I feel like it's working kind of well actually. Yes, fluffing out the edges and just the clouds in general helps a lot. I think they just weren't fluffy looking enough. That looks much better in my opinion. So I'm gonna go and do that with all of them and try to get the edges a bit softer. Wow, now that there's like one side I've kind of blurred and the other side I haven't yet, I see like a huge difference. I personally really like the blurred version more. It gives me a bit more control. The only thing is that it's taking me so long to blur all of these to an extent that I like them, that the other side is starting to dry, which means that it's harder to blur, and soon it'll all be dry and then I won't be able to blur them at all. So that stresses me out a little bit, but I am happy with how this is turning out so far. With painting, you can always do it super fast, but I just find it more rewarding to take your time and get it to a point that you like and then move on, instead of trying to finish, because it's more about the process than it is about making something finished. If you take your time and you enjoy it, I think you'll have a better experience. So that is what I am trying to be doing. So I'm gonna try now to separate this cloud, because you guys know how I was trying to do like this motion, right? So this giant cloud doesn't look like it's doing that, but I realized if I just separate it into two littler clouds, maybe it'll look more like it's doing that. I didn't even finish blending all of the clouds. Like I said, they're starting to dry a lot, so you guys probably saw like I was introducing and reintroducing some of the sky colors back into the white that I was using, just because I couldn't really blend them into the background anymore because it was drying so fast, but you know, that's okay, we're still figuring it out. The only downside about acrylic that I've honestly forgotten about is that it dries so fast. I forgot that acrylic does that. I thought it was just gonna be like, I don't know, simpler than this, I guess. But as you can see now, like I'm reintroducing some of the darker purple into this cloud. I'm gonna try to blend it in very wispy motions. I feel like the overall mood I'm trying to go for is just wispy. I would love for these clouds to be wispy and soft looking, and to achieve that I'm trying not to use too much paint, but like when you're trying to go fast and you're trying to just get things on the canvas, I feel like that's what ends up happening, is you kind of just end up using a bunch of paint sometimes. But honestly, like if you guys are painting with me, which would first of all be so cool, I love when you guys paint with me and you guys like send me what you guys painted and it makes me so happy. But if you guys are doing that right now, huge tip is to first of all like keep a balance between paint and water. You don't want too much of either or it's gonna really mess you up and make you frustrated. And another thing is just to be patient and go back and forth with things. I kind of forgot that about acrylic, to be honest. I forgot how patient you have to be. And I feel like because I've painted so much in my life, I am a rather patient person, but you know, you need that reminder. Also, the paper towel I'm starting using is kind of looking like our painting right now. It's kind of cool. I'm just gonna keep going back and forth and blending things, trying to make it look wispy, as I said. Okay, so I think it's kind of blended. I'm gonna go and attempt to add a bit more shadows. It's just kind of hard to add things with acrylic and blend them when the paint isn't wet anymore. Like going back on top of dry paint is a bit of a difficulty sometimes, so you do kind of have to work with it quite a bit and try to get the right look. It's all just down to patience, to be honest. So hopefully I can get this to look right, add some shadows along the way. I'm not even really sure where shadows are supposed to go on a cloud, to be honest. I'm kind of just doing whatever I feel like. Right here I'm gonna separate that into another little cloud just because I don't really like the way it looked underneath. And I'm gonna go through and add some more white, but I'm gonna mix some pink with the white so that it's not just like such a big contrast. So it's actually like a very light pink that I'm adding for the highlights right now. Try to blend that a little bit with a drier brush. And kind of make the clouds look fluffier if you add more points of highlight. And it's kind of similar to what you do when you want to split the clouds up into, like, you know, the 2 or 3 little clouds. Like I did here and here. You just kind of add another highlight point, and that kind of just splits them up a bit. You just kind of want to balance them so they're not all like equally as highlighted, if that makes sense. Like there are some points where it's even brighter and some points where there are no highlights maybe. I feel like it's all very sporadic and you have a lot of ways you could switch it up, make it look different. And also there's so many different kinds of clouds. There's clouds that look angry, there's clouds that look peaceful and stuff like that. So, you know, you could really just like kind of do whatever you want. There's so many different types that I feel like there's one for everyone. I really just sound like Bob Ross in this video, like this entire video. Okay, so I think I'm gonna finish soon. I'm just going to add the last little highlights, which are just gonna be pure white now, and just go through and highlight some of the clouds. Just gonna blend those in one last time. But I think after this I'm going to add some of those stars, which I kind of have mixed feelings about. Like that was kind of my vision when I started this, was that I was gonna add little like cute stars, like literal stars. Like I'm gonna draw a 5-pointed star and stuff. I'm gonna add a couple of those. But I'm not sure how I feel about that anymore, because this looks more realistic than I thought I would have the patience for. I think it's gonna look different than I imagined, but I think I'm still gonna go through with it just because I don't think it'll look bad. I really like highlighting the super little wispy guys just because I feel like it makes it look just so much fluffier. Trying mostly just to avoid harsh edges. Just a little bit more. I feel like that's what I always say with paintings, but that's kind of how it is. Like I could potentially keep going for another like, I don't know, 5-6 hours on this. I could keep like making things better and changing them and altering them, but I think at some point it's just time to move on. So since this is just something I'm doing for fun, I'm going to move on rather early. I think that is it. Yeah, so this is what the clouds currently look like. So cute. And now I'm just gonna go in and add the stars. So I think what I had in mind for the stars is just kind of going in with this super tiny little brush that I have right here and some white, and I'm just going to draw cute little stars. I'm going to try my best. I do have a pet peeve with painting though, and that is when circles aren't perfectly circle, like when people do dots but like maybe it's just the edge of their brush or something and it kind of like moves a little bit, so it's not a circle, it's just kind of like a little mark. I really don't like that, so I try my best to make sure I never do that, just because it's a personal preference of mine. I love the detailing that these stars like added to it. I feel like it adds a lot. It just kind of brings it all together. Last few on the edges. Here's the final little clouds that I painted. They look very sparkly, which is kind of what I was going for. I definitely like it a lot. The only thing I wish I was able to do was paint the edges, which I'm about to go through and do now. I just kind of wasn't able to at the time because I was rushing a bit to get the background blended before it all dried, but I do really like how this turned out. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and for painting with me. If you guys painted anything while you were hanging out with me, please post it on Instagram and tag me and let me know, and I will make sure to repost it for you guys. So thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me. I love how this painting turned out, and I hope you guys painted along with me. So thanks for watching. So stay hydrated, take a nap, and I will see you when I see you. Bye guys.